I had a chance to visit Disneyland's Fantasy Faire, the new section of Fantasyland, just west of the Sleeping Beauty Castle at Disneyland. Fantasy Faire is located where the Carnation Plaza used to be. They've revamped the entire area to make it a princess meet and greet for young girls. And fortunately, I have a 5-year-old daughter, and this was the perfect opportunity to come. You'll go down Main Street, and you'll see a little bridge, and across that bridge is the Fantasy Faire. Once you cross it, you're kind of brought into this immersive fairy tale environment. There are two basic areas to Fantasy Faire, and that's the Royal Hall and the Royal Theater. The Royal Hall is the princess meet and greet. The Royal Theater is the storytelling show. First thing we did was go to the Royal Hall, and right when you enter, there's a sign, and it tells you two things. One is the wait time, and second is the princesses you'll meet. For us, the wait time was 40 minutes, and it really was 40 minutes. And the princesses we met were Sleeping Beauty, Ariel, and Cinderella. My daughter was especially excited to meet Ariel that day. We got in line, and the way the line works is part of it's under canopies with ceiling fans. At the 40-minute point, we were barely outside of it, so we were standing in the sun for a few minutes until we finally got under the canopy. So the line is especially long, and it's an especially hot day. You're going to be sweating it out for a while. But once you get under that canopy, they got those ceiling fans going, and it does feel good. The line moves painfully slow. You kind of expect that. They allow maybe about one group in per minute, so it does take a while. So finally we enter the room, and the nice thing about the Royal Hall is not only do you get to meet your princesses, but you're in a room, and so it's a nice, quiet environment. The ceilings are high, they got walls, so the sound kind of deadens when you get inside, and it gives you that intimate moment for your daughter or child to meet a princess and interact with her individually without having people stand in line and watching you. There's 3 sections. In each of the 3 sections is a princess, and you just move from section to section. There's a PhotoPass photographer there, so you want to have your PhotoPass. You want to have your camera, your cell phone, your iPhone, anything. They will take a picture for you. So what will happen is when the group in front of you is done, they'll walk away, and my daughter in this case runs up to the princess, gives her a big hug. They talk for a little bit, and the PhotoPass photographer is able to get pictures of the hug and these interactions. And then you'll give them your camera. You'll take a picture, you'll get a nice moment there, and then you'll move on. The whole experience probably takes anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how much time you spend with each princess. But you are getting that one-on-one interaction with the princess. You are placed in a royal environment, so the backdrop around you is really nice. Great for a photo. You're not behind some kind of painted wall, but you're in many cases behind like a throne or a seat or something. Very immersive and really good time. Your kids will love it. Once you get out of the Royal Hall, though, you're immediately dumped into Fairy Tale Treasures, which is a store. Now, I will say this. There's a gap, a nice large gap between the exit and the store. So if you want to avoid that store, here's a little tip. Move immediately to the left, turn, move to the center of the plaza, and you'll miss the store completely, and your kids will never know there was a store there. That's a great tip for those who want to save a little bit of money. Next, we move to the Royal Theater. In the Royal Theater, they tell 2 stories. In the morning, they'll tell the story of Rapunzel. In the afternoon, they'll tell the story of Beauty and the Beast. This is a story that features 2 vaudevillian-type storytellers, Mr. Smythe and Mr. Jones. And through a little bit of comedy and singing and dancing, they'll tell the story. What they basically do here is they'll take the story, they'll take the high points of those stories that they can act out in a comedic way, and then they'll act out those scenes. And then in between, the storytellers will go really fast and give you a lot of exposition and just kind of get you from scene to scene. The best thing, though, is it's interactive. You'll say huzzah and fi at the right moments. In Beauty and the Beast, there's a point in which the entire audience is encouraged to sing the song Beauty and the Beast together as Belle and the Beast are dancing. In this one also, there was a puppet of Lumiere, which was really exciting, but really interactive. My daughter really enjoyed this show. So this is definitely a worthwhile show to see. Show's about 20 minutes. And so here's the best way to do it. If you want to be in the theater, have a seat, my suggestion is to get in line right at the end of the prior show. So you may see a little bit of the show, but get in that line and you'll almost be guaranteed a seat. Also, if you don't get there in time, you can stand outside of the theater. It's kind of a tent situation. You can kind of see in. There's a lot of obstructions, but you can see, you can hear. So that's something you may want to do. Moving on. So we have the Princess Meet and Greet, we have the store, we have the show, and now the food. We went to Maurice's Treats, which is right across from the Royal Theater. We particularly purchased the Strawberry Twist, which is basically a piece of strung out pastry lined with strawberry jelly. Tasted really good, very refreshing. I didn't think it would be that refreshing in the heat that we were experiencing, but it was. And very good, and it was $4.95, so it's a little bit expensive, but you'd expect that when you go to Disneyland. And then also, they have drinks. They have these fizzy drinks. I did not personally have one. They were very expensive. They were about $6 for a drink, and I'm just not willing to do that at this point in time. I don't think it's worth it. A couple of Easter eggs to point out. At the exit of the Royal Hall, there is an animatronic Figaro and Bluebird. We should be posting that video on our site at secretcitycomedy.com, or you can go directly to our YouTube page at youtube.com/secretcitycomedy. But it's an animatronic Figaro from Pinocchio, the little cat, and there's a little bluebird in a cage that's constantly waking him up. At the entrance of the Royal Hall is Clopan's music box. There's a wheelie spin, Clopan dances in it, people little figures, little scenelets kind of move across the scene as it goes on. And if you look at the crowd, you'll see some of your favorite Disney characters. Well, that's our trip to Disneyland's Fantasy Fair. I'm Alan Ng with the Secret City Geek Lab on KTST FM.